welcome back to another video. Today I'm driving from the UK over to the Nurburgring in Germany for the N24 race, which is the 24-hour race that happens at the Nurburgring. I'm heading over there with Audi UK, hence me being in an Audi R8 rear-wheel drive Performance, so that in itself is very, very exciting. I actually set off very early this morning. I was on an 8 AM Eurotunnel over to Calais in France, and I'm currently driving through Belgium. So far, touch wood, I haven't hit any traffic. I had a really nice journey over. Firstly, I hit the Flexi Plus lounge because Audi provide us with Flexi Plus tickets, and that allows me to basically stock up with as much food and drink as I can physically hold. So I've got plenty of stuff in here, should keep me going for a few days, if not a few weeks. In terms of this car, well, I actually went to the global launch at the end of last year in Gran Canaria, and I tested it extensively on the road and on the track. So if you missed that video, there'll be a link to it up here. Definitely worth watching. I had such a great couple of days out there and really grew to love this car. I think it is the best R8 to date. They've really got the recipe just right. It retains the 5.2 litre V10 normally aspirated engine just behind my shoulders here. It's rear wheel drive only, has a 7-speed dual clutch gearbox, but this one has more power than the regular rear wheel drive at 570 horsepower. So its power to weight ratio is very similar to the full fat, let's say, R8 Performance V10. It has a claimed 0 to 62 time of just 3.7 seconds, which isn't bad at all for a rear-wheel drive car. Hopefully I'll be able to test that out over the next couple of days using my race box. And it also has a claimed top speed of 204 miles an hour. Hopefully we'll be able to get close to that when we hit Germany in about an hour's time. So I'm looking forward to that, although it will be the middle of the day and it is a weekday, so probably quite busy, and I'm not going to do anything too dangerous to try and achieve that. In terms of pricing, well, these start at £130,000 in the UK. This particular car is a Performance Edition model, which adds about an extra 10 grand and gives you a few extra options and bits of fancy kit. And this particular press car has some more options on top of the Performance Edition model. So this one actually retails at about £150,000, which does bring it dangerously close to the full fat Quattro model. But to me that still doesn't matter, because this really does feel like more of a driver's car than the full fat version. But it would be nice to test them back to back one day, but the logistics and the cost of doing that might actually be impossible. You join me a couple of hours later. We've just crossed over the Belgium-German border, and we're about to join one of my favourite bits of Autobahn. As we're approaching this road, well, we're hoping that it's not going to be too busy. That's obviously the first bit of fingers crossed, but yeah, we'll just see what we can get. The conditions are really nice. It's around lunchtime, so let's just see. Thankfully it's 3 lanes, so all the trucks should be staying to the right. Let's just see what we can do. There's a couple of bends beforehand, and then there's a nice straight section. I think it's about 6 miles of straight section, so yeah, it takes a while to wind a car up, especially once you got it above about 150 miles an hour. You're obviously using a lot of road. Got a nice little carrot there, E-Class, Mercedes in front. Just get up to speed. When you haven't done big speeds for a while, it takes your mind a while to sort of comprehend what's going on. You're looking so much further down the road. I mean, now we're just cruising along at 170 k's, which is about 110 miles an hour. And although this has almost got 600 horsepower, all of that power and in fact a lot of the torque's right at the top, so you really need to rev it out to maximise it. So I'm guessing it might be top of 5th or top of 6th. We're probably not in 7th where we achieve top speed, if we achieve top speed. Right, so 160, that's 100 miles an hour. Let's wind it on, that's 4th gear, all the way up, change up, and we we got traffic in front again. That's 250 just like that. So good on the brakes, it's so stable at these speeds. It's a big difference, I always say, between a sports car and a supercar. Supercar with that extra aero, supercar like this that's designed to go at high speeds, it's just amazing at high speeds. It's so stable. That was painfully close to 200 miles an hour. I saw an indicated 310 k's, which is about 192, maybe 193 miles an hour. There's just too much traffic on the roads, and it would have been reckless for me to keep trying. But I'm in no doubt that this R8 would smash through the 200 mile an hour barrier. Anyway, I'm going to push on and get to the Nurburgring so I can have a late lunch and hopefully catch up with my good friend Misha.
Qualifying 2, and it takes place from 8:30 till 11:30, and sunset is now at 9:30, so we have 2 hours of nighttime qualifying where every driver needs to complete 2 laps at least, so every car has to go out and be able to race, and it's just simply amazing. So we're going to get very close to the cars today.
Join me on Saturday morning, the day of the race. Actually starts at 4 p.m. today, obviously runs for 24 hours. Hopefully you enjoyed that evening session with Misha at the side of the track. If you ever get the chance to come to the N24 or Le Mans 24 hour, you've got to make an effort to go out at night for at least a couple of hours, because the cars, the experience is just second to none, really is. It's a completely different sort of feeling and scenario. It's magical. Obviously you see brakes glowing, you see sparks flying, the smells seem to be accentuated. It's just such an incredible time to sort of go and watch these amazing cars. Obviously we had press access, so we're right on the barrier. Let's slow things down a bit on this rather beautiful and bumpy road. It replicates a UK road, this. Obviously not the scenery, but the actual way they've laid the tarmac, which is very un-German. But talking about that, although this car is reasonably firm, as you'd expect, because, well, it's a supercar, it actually has a pretty decent ride when you knock it back into comfort. And in fact, I came up here with Steph, ABTV, in an RS4 that he also has from Audi UK. He's on the same trip. And I have to say, I think this has got a better ride than the passive RS4 setup that his car has, so that's saying something. But this car's been an absolute joy to live with. It really has. For the past couple of days I've done nearly 600 miles in it, and yeah, it really is the everyday supercar. After last night's top 30 qualifying shootout, Audi actually managed to get 2 R8s in the top 5, albeit 4th and 5th. But just to put things into perspective, 5th place was about 2 seconds off pole position. Now normally 2 seconds around Silverstone or something would be a fair chunk of time. But around this circuit, we're talking about the Nordschleife and the GP circuit combined, pole position was an 8-minute 9-second lap. So 2 seconds is only a fraction of that. And in fact, I think the top 10 is over about 3 seconds. So it really is anyone's race today. It's all about attrition, as all 24-hour events are. My fingers are crossed for Team Audi. I know it's not about luck entirely, but 24-hour races do involve some luck, because you can always get caught up in bad weather or other people's accidents. So yeah, I'm really wishing Team Audi the best of luck, and everyone else out there a safe drive. The race is about to start. They're just doing a quick formation lap, and the 24 hours is going to get underway. So hopefully, fingers crossed, Audis are going to at least get on the podium, if not take the win.
Years ago, Audi took their first ever victory at the Nurburgring N24, and they take the checkered flag in 2022 for the 50th anniversary running. This is a manufacturer who at the moment are unsure where their future lies in endurance racing.
As you just heard, Audi have taken the win. Really, really good race. I mean, the leader was changing for the entire 24 hours just about. I mean, Ferrari was on pole, then the Lambo led for a few laps, then we had some BMWs up there, we had the Aston of my good friend David Pittard. Throughout the night there was lots of accidents and failures, and the lead continued to change, and then it really came down to the wire between the Phoenix Audi and one of the factory AMGs, and yeah, the Audi won, which is awesome news. It's really nice when you go with a manufacturer and they end up taking the win. And in fact, the last time I was at the N24 was 2019 with Audi, and they won then as well, and I think it was the same Team Phoenix car. So really, really cool, really impressive team. And I just think Audi, well, they are the kings of endurance racing, and I'm not just saying that because I'm sitting in an Audi and I'm with Audi on this trip. You know, they're many, many years at Le Mans and multiple wins not just at Le Mans, at other endurance races. They have proven time and time again that they are the best, and although they didn't put it on pole and they weren't up there or in the top 3 on the early laps or in the early hours, they plugged away and took the win. So really, really cool. I had a bit of a late night, you can probably hear it in my voice. Not out drinking or partying, but out enjoying and soaking up the atmosphere last night. It's just amazing out there. It's like a giant festival or a rave. Awesome time. Thanks so much to Audi for inviting me out once again. I just want to point out that whenever I've been out with Audi, they've won, so maybe they should keep inviting me. Maybe it was a good omen, just saying. The R8's been absolutely fantastic, and in fact I'm actually going to get home on 1 tank of fuel. And yes, this does have a big tank, I think it's about 70 litres or something, but that's impressive. 1 tank of fuel, and as you can hear, in comfort, top gear. We're sitting at 120 k's. There's hardly any sound, you don't hear the engine, you don't hear anything. You knock it all back and it's just lovely and quiet, but you put it on your favourite A or B road and it's an absolute weapon. So love this car. We're really going to miss the R8 when it does eventually go, because it's going to have to go. Obviously the V10 just not going to be able to produce it for much longer because of emissions and all the rest of it. So sad times, but I'm very fortunate to have spent a lot of time in R8s over the years, and yeah, I know not everyone gets to do that, and I've done some awesome things with R8s, including this trip. If you get the chance to go to the N24, I can't recommend it high enough. It really is just awesome. It's an amazing spectacle, and obviously you've got so much time to explore the forest, check out some viewpoints, and just take in the atmosphere. I will see you at another video very, very soon. Thanks for watching.